watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, education officials meet to address concerns of violence at Patrick J. Bethel High School in Abaco. Plus, a West Grand Bahama family is seeking help after their home was allegedly set on fire. And the Bahamas landing top nominations in this year's USA Reader's Choice Awards. Those stories and more on the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starting now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news tonight, stakeholders gathering together to address a series of concerns over on the island of Abaco. This coming as parents of students at Patrick J. Bethel High School call for immediate attention to address violence at that school. You may recall that some 2 weeks ago, over 10 altercations were reported in one day, leaving students traumatized. While the members of Parliament for the island, representatives from government agencies, members of the public, civic leaders, and many others are discussing the way forward. The acting director of education fills us in on that meeting. A meeting was held to address mounting concerns of violence at Abaco's largest high school, Patrick J. Bethel. Overpopulation, a lack of teachers, violence, and gang activity are among some of the challenges they're facing. The Director of Education, Dominique Russell, sharing the details of that meeting.
Coming out of that meeting, social services said that they would conduct parenting classes. The Abaco Christian Council said that they would offer counseling sessions for the children, anger management sessions to go along with what is being done at the school. We also had, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force said that they would bring on back their Defense Force Rangers program.
She says the government is also assisting.
Members of Parliament also agreed that they would seek to provide more male support, security officers, and the ministry, of course, we are working on ensuring that we get more teachers in. We do have male presence on the ground. Some really good male teachers are at that school. However, we would like to ensure that we either have a male vice principal or a male senior master.
Sources tell our ZNS News team that students who were displaced after the storm returned from the nation's capital and formed about 2 to 3 gangs at that school. Here's Russell's response to those claims.
Well, based on the information that I would have received, I can't say that these gangs came out of Nassau, but it did appear that some of the children, had their affiliation, specific affiliation. I cannot tell you whether it's by where they live or whether it's by their culture, but there were some gang activities at the school, and they had some conflicts.
Russell says she's grateful for the community of Abaco and believes that plans discussed in the meeting will help turn the institution around.
And so I believe that this continued collaboration between the home, the school, the church, civic society, corporate Bahamas, everybody who has a vested interest in ensuring that our children become, productive citizens, that the ideas that came out of that meeting, I believe that it will work.
In other news, Press Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Clint Watson, revealing during the OPM's weekly press briefing that there will be a formation of an interministerial committee to tackle the issue of illegal shanty towns in the country, as concerns continue to mount about the communities on Abaco. Watson revealing that the Minister of Works, the Honorable Alfred Sayers Casey, will be heading that committee.
The Minister of Works is leading this charge. He is the Minister responsible for this. He's also responsible for the Building Control Act, which, remember, last we would have talked, I spoke about that being a very key aspect. What is the law saying about it to be able to move forward? What has happened since then is an interministerial committee has been recommended.
Now, under the previous administration, there was a cabinet subcommittee to address the issue. Watson explains how this committee will be different.
I want to make this interministerial committee clear, because there was a Shanty Town committee under the previous administration with ministers. This is not the same committee. This is a new committee that has been recommended. And a part of the committee will include the Minister of Works, obviously, the Minister responsible for immigration, because of that component that's involved, national security, because of that nature as well, Minister of Social Services, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs. They will make up this special committee. And of course, what will have to happen will be to start to catalog all of the illegal structures in the Bahamas.
The press secretary says there are also illegal structures in Exuma, Andros, North Eleuthera, and the committee will identify exactly where those structures are, who are occupying them, and how many structures exist. Once they retrieve that information, they will then determine how best to deal with it. Switching gears now, the family of a 78-year-old man who became the victim of a traffic fatality earlier this week is reflecting on his life. His wife, children, and grandchildren telling our Simone Davis today that this incident has left them in shock. Here's that story.
I miss him. And I telling you, I don't know sometimes. I don't know how I feel. I just don't know what I feel. I feel like I don't lost because I'm not lonely. I have Jesus. But I miss him. He's my friend. He's my best friend.
73-year-old Helen Francis married her best friend, 78-year-old Daniel Francis, 55 years ago. And on Wednesday night, she lost her life partner to a horrific traffic accident where he was struck and killed by a car while walking in the Holmes Rock area.
We've been to prayer meeting. And when he been to the prayer meeting, and we come in 8 o'clock. And he was worship God and lift up his hand and give God glory.
The grieving widow says as they returned home from church, she spent a few minutes talking to their pastor in the driveway after her husband had already headed to the house. But by the time she got inside, he was nowhere to be found.
So when I open the door, I don't see him. And I go open the back door and I say, Daniel, come the door open. And he don't answer and I don't see him.
It was then that she and her daughter, along with neighbors, started to frantically search his common hangout spots. And they walked as far as Fish Fry, but got discouraged and turned around. And it was then that she started hearing the sirens.
The ambulance was passing. It was making whoa, 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 whoa. And I to the lady, I say, you know what, now is accident. Wait there.
Francis is a father of 7 with 14 grandchildren and 14 great-grandchildren. His family describing him as a family man and the provider for the entire family. They revealed that the only health condition they were aware of was that he suffered from a bad leg and showed signs of Alzheimer's, though he was never officially diagnosed. His granddaughter, Kanisha McIntosh, was on the scene the night of the accident.
On my way back to my car, I saw his foot that didn't have the shoe on it. It was uncovered and it was moving. So I breathed a little bit and I was like, okay, maybe he's hurt really bad, but he's alive. And then I saw the ambulance leave. And from there, it was just like, don't tell me my granddaddy gone.
She says her greatest regret was not being able to help him.
So even if I wanted to save him, I couldn't do it.
One of the couple's daughters reflecting on her beloved father.
To me, he was the best father in the world. I always used to tell my mother, I pray God one day that I find a man like my daddy, because my daddy was a man.
It's not why. I would never question God as to why. It just hurt me for the way that it happened.
The family says although they are hurting, they are grateful that the driver did not flee the scene and call the ambulance for help. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Simone Davis.
We certainly send our condolences to that family. While a blaze in the West Grand Bahama community, leaving a family seeking assistance after her home became engulfed in flames, while some were left homeless. It has also left those on the property without electricity or running water to their homes. Our Shane Stubbs spoke to the family, who say they are grateful and count themselves nothing short of blessed.
A family in the West End community is left to pick up the pieces after a generational home was reduced to ashes. Now, while the family feels more could have been done to prevent this blaze, they are just happy that there was no loss of life. Shortly after 1 a.m. Thursday morning, Lofton Rigby was awakened by the worried alert screamed out by his aunt, Karen Kemp, that her deceased sister's home had caught fire. Upon opening his front door, Rigby was greeted with the shock of his life and says his only concern was ensuring the safety of his family.
When I saw the fire, I was in shock at first, and I didn't know what else to do, but, I just jumped into motion, and, I got little cousins them and little kids was in the house there sleeping and stuff like that, and just was thinking, get to them and stuff like that.
It was suspected by the family that the blaze started after their relative known as Raji, who was battling drug addiction, used his own method of lighting a flame. That is when things quickly went awry. Rigby notes that they warned their relative about his methods, especially after a few close calls in the past. Knowing that the home belonged to his late beloved aunt, Rigby says the aftermath is tough to grasp.
The stuff they use for fire and stuff like that, we try to show them about, going about the right way, because this is a wood house. So coincidentally, one of my cousins just had to tell him about that because he had a big fire in the house going on, and so be it. A couple hours later, we'll be looking at ashes. My next son, he passed away, and, I love very much, and it's like a memory of her in ashes now.
With her sister's home located next to hers, Kemp says the heat from the blaze is what woke her up and prompted her to call out to everyone. From there, efforts were made using buckets of water to prevent the fire from spreading any wilder until firefighters arrived on the scene. But both Kemp and Rigby hope fire trucks can be located closer to the West Grand Bahama community.
I hope that, we could get more help concerning about the fire engine, because it takes so long. It comes like after 2. And time as they reach, everything is then burned down.
We need a better fire station in this area, 8 Mile Rock and so forth, because, we are here, and them 2 trucks came from Freeport. By that time, ain't no telling. It could have been a lot more loss.
As a result of the blaze, the family is now left without power or water running to their homes. If you or anyone would like to assist, you can contact 242-375-5339. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shane Stubbs.
Well, in news from police, a 70-year-old Grand Bahama man was arrested after being found with a large amount of suspected marijuana. A joint operation between officers of the Drug Enforcement Unit and Bahamas Customs ends with the arrest of a resident of Pioneers Loop after some 6.5 pounds of suspected marijuana was found in his possession. The illegal drugs were confiscated and he was taken into police custody. Investigations into this matter continues. And some good news to report tonight. The Bahamas has landed top nominations in the 2022 USA Today 10 Best Reader's Choice Awards. Travel experts select the top 20 nominees in contests covering food, lodging destinations, travel gear, things to do, and the list goes on. The final decision is up to the readers. Out of several categories, Tony Macaroni's Experience was nominated for the Best Caribbean Beach Bar. Our ZNS News team stopped by the business to hear how he feels about the nomination. Thankful to God is how businessman Tony Hanna, best known as Tony Macaroni, says he feels about the nomination.
I've been privileged with the talents that I have to do what I do. And I think it's just a reflection of my love for what I do is the reason for the awards.
But it's not the first time he has received the nomination. We asked what is so unique about his beach bar experience that lands him in the category year after year.
Everything I do is different. I don't cook with grease. I do now. After my mother died, I decided to produce one of her favorite recipes, which she did all her life for bazaars and functions in the lodge and stuff. She had the best confiters in the world. And we're producing them now in memory of her on weekends with jazz.
Located on the tranquil shores of Tino Beach, the beach bar is open 3 times a week, catering to locals and tourists. This year makes 30 years in operation.
Phil Stubbs wrote a song called Perseverance. Consistency Nothing changes here. 30 years, the same recipe is the same. People who've been here 13 years ago, 4 years ago, come back and say the food is exactly the same. Nothing changes. We're almost gooder than Kentucky Fried Chicken. I didn't say better, I said gooder.
Although the menu is fully Bahamian, the guests would certainly agree that the food is par excellence.
Tony has a fantastic conch salad and conch soup, and it's one of the best that I found on the island. Plus, the guy is nice. He's always smiling, joking, so it's pleasant.
The beach bar, I like Tony's display that he put on a while ago. With the conch and all that, however you pronounce it.
Oh, it's just relaxing. All my troubles are at home. Just fun-free, no worries at all.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful view, beautiful people. It's about to be some beautiful food. It's going to be good.
As for this year's nominee, he invites those catering to tourists to be a little more positive and promote other businesses in the sector.
Wherever I go, I send them stone crab. We invite them there. We go upstairs to upstairs restaurant. We invite them there. We go next door to fish fry. I go to Gully Wash. I send people to Gully Wash every day. They want fried fish, go to Gully Wash. You know, most businesses in tourism tend to tell tourists, oh, they ain't open, they ain't closed. They open, they close. They ain't open, they close. They do that so that people can spend money with them, which is bad. Because if you don't have what a person needs, send them to someone who has it.
And when we come back, one local sorority continuing to take up the challenge to educate residents on the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. We will tell you how when the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, returns.
Come on down. Come on down now.
Apostles Tony and Ann Grant and the Agape House family invite you to join us as we celebrate our 20th church and pastoral anniversary. Beginning Tuesday, November 29th at 7 p.m. with a night of praise and worship. Wednesday, November 30th at 11 a.m. with our Glory Revival day session. And our evening sessions Wednesday, November 30th and Thursday, December 1st at 7 p.m. On Friday, we celebrate with a night of elegance at our gala dinner at 7 p.m. Tickets are just $80. Then on Sunday, December 4th, don't miss our Glory Worship experience at 9 a.m. Our entire celebration will be held at the Agape House Glory Dome, number 23 and 24 Pioneers Loop. For more information, call 352-4273.
Best Buy Ladies Boutique, formerly known as Kitty's, extends Happy Thanksgiving to their valued customers with a buy one, get up to 40% off your second purchase. They're open Monday through Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Shop the 30% off Black Friday sale going on now at Pandora, Port Lacaya. Park and Shop is having a Thanksgiving sale, 25% off excluding all red tag items, and Dollar Plus has 20% off all Christmas decorations November 24th through the 30th. Come and see the cabinets and countertops in stock now at Specialty Kitchen and Bath, number 16 Oak Street, phone 688-9661.
Niceness. Yeah, watch this. How you doing there, bad man? You can't let me, darling.
Get.
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 Yeah, you think guys a dog ain't, but get. Give me this thing, girl.
Get up.
Hey, get him. I ain't get nothing.
Start, you stay there and let them rob me?
I don't say mind up and this that pays us. I got. Hold on. But I do that, no. I get a set. That can't give me that fight.
Just a reminder to members of the public that when depositing monies in the bank or any depository location, check your surroundings to be aware of any suspicious persons or vehicles lurking in the area with the intention of committing a crime. I'm advising you to seek the assistance of the police or perhaps an armored truck. Let's continue to work together to create safer communities.
Your number one news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Today, November 25th, is the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, followed by the Global 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence. The Grand Bahama alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated continuing to take up the challenge to educate the public on the effects of domestic violence. Once again, wearing the color orange, which signifies a brighter future free from violence, the women held placards reminding the motoring public of the impact of the social ill. Social Acting Chair Tashana Wilson and President Arlette Thompson say the sorority also distributed 62 turkeys and a grocery to vulnerable women in the community.
Kick off our campaign by wearing orange today, which is the symbol, and we will be going on the road to, put up our placards to show our support from the initiatives.
So this is the 4th year that the ladies of the Grand Bahama Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated has thrown our annual turkey drive. We thought this initiative fit well with our economic development thrust so that we can give back, help basically ease the financial burden in some of the homes of the persons in Grand Bahama.
The sorority also partnered with the Evangeline Jervis Center to assist with targeting those in the community who needed it most. Alicia Jervis Garland says they were happy to assist.
We are so happy to partner with the sorority because they are helping the community. What they did is they asked us to submit some names of people who are on our list. And these are people who are well-deserved and who could use the assistance because times are really difficult at this point in time. And so any type of relief that can be given to them, we appreciate it.
The 16 Days of Activism on the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women concludes on December 10th. This year's theme is Orange the World, End Violence Against Women Now. Well, this Thanksgiving, a local organization did its part to give back in a major way to over 1,000 residents in Grand Bahama. Jay Philippe tells us more in this report.
Reach Out organization, along with its partners, made it a mission to feed some 1,000 residents on the island of Grand Bahama on this Thanksgiving Day.
Today we're going to be feeding all old folks home here on the island of Grand Bahama, the home for disability also. We also have a feeding in Holmes Rock and also in High Rock. But today our whole mission is to feed about 1,000 families. I know it's been a difficult time for a lot of folks here in Grand Bahama, but we just wanted to make sure they get a hot meal prepared for them on Thanksgiving.
Founder Dudley Sade says this initiative would not have been possible without the support of its many volunteers and donors.
I just want to say thank you to everyone who support our organization, made it possible today that some families won't go to their bed hungry. But it's a pleasure. 12 years ago, we used to do it as a fundraiser, but now the Lord laid on my heart now to give back to the folks who maybe won't be able to get a hot meal, especially the seniors. A lot of times, a lot of people forget those seniors. Today, we want to just put a little smile on their face for them to have some ham, turkey, and some dessert.
One of the key volunteers was the Rotary Club of Freeport, whose mission is to provide service to others. President Kanaz Roll.
We were compelled to partner with the Reach Out organization, Dudley and Katie Sade, and we're glad to assist wherever we can and assist with the feeding of communities and less fortunate. And so, yeah, this is what we do, and we're all here for projects like this.
Alberta Hudson, owner of Home for the Aged, Home for the Elderly, tells us that she's grateful for organizations such as Reach Out.
It means a lot to us, and the clients appreciate it a lot because sometimes they're forgotten, but organizations like this usually remember us and reach out to us, and we are so grateful for it, and we thank them for it.
Residents at the borough's Home for the Aged were also recipients of today's Thanksgiving meals.
This is very awesome, right? What I've learned, right, is better to give than to receive. It's always, I feel much better by giving than receiving. So this is awesome what he's doing.
Altogether, Reach Out organization, along with its 20 volunteers, was able to spread love on this Thanksgiving Day. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jay Philippe.
Now time for a check on sports with Shane Stubbs.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Shane Stubbs, and welcome to sports. We've got updates from high school volleyball over in Abaco, plus scores from the Thanksgiving Basketball Classic being hosted by Tabernacle. But first, let's get into some boxing.
A five-man team competed fiercely during the Sugarbird Boxing Championships over in Kissimmee, Florida, and Bahamas Amateur Boxing Federation President Vincent Strawn says every fighter put on a show.
These boxers fared well. They did a fantastic job. I felt they did the country proud. Everybody came home with a medal and two championships. And I salute Coach Jermaine Gibson for the stellar work that he did.
The team's efforts were highlighted by 15-year-old Grand Bahama native Keanu Green, who won his championship bout against Florida's Edwin Delgado. Elijah Smith, also out of Grand Bahama, would fall short in his championship match against Florida's Jabe Morales to come away with the silver medal. Securing gold for Team Bahamas was veteran boxer Carl Heald after scoring a knockout victory over New Jersey's Anthony Muniz. 17-year-old welterweight Anai Powell would finish his time in the squared circle with a silver medal. The tournament made its return after the COVID-19 pandemic forced its hiatus, and it's regularly attended by Team Bahamas. Next in sports, the Abaco Secondary School Association wrapping up their Senior Girls Championship Series, and the SC Boodle Dolphins are your Senior Girls champions. They would defeat Patrick J. Bethel 3-0, 25-15, 25-20, and 25-10 to secure the Senior Girls title. The Dolphins' Sierra Lightbourne was named the most valuable player of that series. Congratulations goes out to all the players and coaches. And lastly in sports, scores from Day 2 of the Tabernacle William Dale Barnes Thanksgiving Basketball Classic being played at the St. George's Gymnasium. The 8 Mile Rock Blue Jays will get over the BMES Warriors by a final score of 44-24. Next up, the St. George's Jaguars will defeat the Louise McDonald Marlins out of Bimini in a close one, 41-39. Next, the Sunland Stingers will get past the Jack Cable Wildcats 48-30, and Columbia High out of Georgia will defeat Brainerd High out of Tennessee 68-34. Play continues this evening at the St. George's Gymnasium.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is your quick update on sports. I'm Shane Stubbs. Continue to have a great weekend.
The West Grand Bahama District Council invites you to a service of Thanksgiving on Saturday, November 26, 8 a.m. at the Mount Calvary Baptist Church, Seagrape, 8 Mile Rock. Special guests include Reverend Edmund Monroe, Minister Oslin Jadort, and Pastor Simeon Oughton.
We just got the new fiber internet speed bump. Now my internet's so fast, I can watch 2 4K movies, play video games, and browse on my computer at the same time.
Yeah, my internet's so fast, I could download a whole season of shows before my noodles run cooking.
Mine's so fast, when I go to church online, service actually over early.
Mine so fast, when I'm working from home, 5 o'clock, come before 3.
Sound like you got this BTC fiber internet speed bump like me.
When it's so fast, I had to have it.
Current fiber internet bundle customers now have as much as 3 times the speed. Totally free. Link up with BTC.
With the holiday season fast approaching, Grand Bahama says it's time for those window and cabinet upgrades. In stock now are white shaker cabinets, Swiss chocolate, Ovaltine brown, and Hello Milo cabinets. And if you're looking for windows, Grand Bahamas has PVC sliding windows, casement and hurricane sliding impact windows. Grand Bahamas on Queens Highway. Enhance your home in ways that beautify and last. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Pastor Roberts and Ruth Adams and Restoration Evangelistic Ministries invite you to Revival Fire 2022. It all goes down November 28th through the 30th, 7 p.m. nightly. The guest speaker is Apostle Benjamin Smith, Senior Pastor of Embassy International, Nassau, Bahamas.
God is about to connect you with some divine helpers and angelic assistants. This is going to be the season that your next connection will disconnect you from poverty, lack, and deprivation.
That's 3 nights of Holy Ghost fire at Calvary Temple Assemblies of God, November 28th through 30th. Let the fire fall.
With over 30 years of service with integrity,
Services in Abaco, New Providence, and Grand Bahama, providing modern and state-of-the-art equipment, specializing in the maintenance and operation of waste treatment plants, waste oil movement, sludge extraction, tank cleaning, elite portable toilets, and hand wash stations. We are efficient, reliable, and cutting edge. We are B&B Galaxy.
That's what I told her. Bring the winding thing here. This is Rick and Script, so show me emotion. Hey, wine and go down low.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Dory Kemp, you are our Facebook friend of the day. We always see you in the comment section, and we appreciate your support. And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire news team here in the North, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy your weekend. Be sure to stay tuned as the Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, the AG's expected reassurance on failed FTX. Complicit Bahamians, the PM and a U.S. politician meet, and championship day for Battle for Atlantis. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
ZNS News is linked up by BTC. Whether it's chatting, gaming, content creating, or working smart to get things done, link up to stay connected with BTC.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Makushla Pinder, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. For the last 2 weeks, the world has watched the twists and turns of the FTX digital market saga unfold. And on Sunday, the Attorney General is set to finally speak on the issue that is now the focus of a full-scale investigation. And this in the face of mounting questions from the opposition and the move the Securities Commission took to ultimately protect the company's creditors and clients. With a preview on what to expect from the government's chief legal advisor, we turn now to a report from our Jimenita Swain.
What I will do on behalf of the government on Sunday evening is I'll give an address to really describe the government's response and the government's position with respect to the FTX collapse.
In a nutshell, that's what you expect from Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Senator the Honorable Ryan Pinder, this Sunday during a national address.
That much was disclosed to reporters at the office of the Prime Minister Friday morning, during which Pinder expressed hope to clear up any lingering concerns about FTX digital markets implosion, an issue that continues to dominate both local and international headlines. The minister's address is expected to specifically zoom in on comments the Securities Commission has already condemned as both false and misleading.
Certainly there are ongoing investigations, both from the regulator, the police, and the financial unit that we have to be mindful of. So we probably won't dive deep into the investigations that are occurring. But certainly from a government's point of view, I'll give a statement reassuring the Bahamian people that the Bahamas is a good place, a well-regulated place, a place to do business.
The AG expanded on some area of concerns raised by the commission that were viewed as inaccurate.
You know, for example, you heard in the bankruptcy matter that they discussed the government taking assets and seizing assets. Well, that's nothing further from the truth. The government does not seize assets. In fact, it is the regulator, the Securities Commission, and they detailed that. And so you have to be very careful in this type of environment of your use of words. I frequently say words have meanings, and every single word you utter has a meaning.
Pinder says the responsible thing to do is to be honest and forthright. He reiterated the Prime Minister's warning against reiterating information that may be false or not speak on things that could be considered fake news. That national address set for Sunday, November 27th. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Jimenita Swain.
Well, in other news this evening, it's been recommended that an inter-ministerial committee be appointed to specifically tackle the country's long-standing issue of shanty towns, which stretches far beyond the pockets of Abaco to Eleuthera, Exuma, and here in New Providence. Making up that body will be the Ministers of Works, Immigration, National Security, Social Services, and Foreign Affairs. Now, according to Press Secretary Clint Watson, all illegal structures will be cataloged.
So what the committee will do once they get this information is identify where these structures are, who are in these structures, how many of these structures exist. And then, of course, the law will be followed regarding the proper servicing of notice to the persons occupying the homes. And following that, either demolition or a determination will be moved for the persons to move, and the structure will be dealt with accordingly, whether it's taking it down or whatever the purpose it'll be other than taking it down. But that's the order of how it will happen once this committee meets.
Now, successive governments have made one attempt after another to deal with the whole issue of shanty towns here in the Bahamas. In the case of the Davis administration, Watson says, here's what's held up the process.
Bahamians have been complicit in supporting these structures being there. Where these structures are located, a lot of them are lands that have been issued to Bahamians for farming. And we're finding out that they're not farming, they're renting the space to persons who fall in this category and are making rent from it. So you can't move somebody who's occupying a space who has permission by the person who legally has rights to that space. And they're saying that, well, I'm paying rent. This is what is happening to these payment people. Now you have to now go to the Bahamians who are occupying and doing this and take other matters into their hands.
Meantime, Haiti's escalating economic crisis pushing United Nations officials to request that countries alter their immigration policy by halting deportations and ensuring migrants under refugee status get the care and attention they need. Responding to reporters, Labor and Immigration Minister, the Honorable Keith Bell, acknowledged it's impossible for the Bahamas to absorb the large contingent of illegal migrants, namely from Haiti and Cuba. This on the heels of immigration officials repatriating approximately 165 illegal migrants to those very same two countries just this week.
Whenever we screen persons, you would take note that persons are for refugee status, and particularly you have economic irregular migrants, where those persons, once we have done their proper assessment and evaluation, a recommendation is made through the Director of Immigration. It comes up to myself as the Minister of Immigration, and the Cabinet is involved on each of those cases. And so where there are cases where a person may be entitled to it, then we act. But for the most part, I can say without fear of contradiction that persons coming particularly from those areas in the region, particularly Haiti and Cuba, they are not, for the most part, refugees. They are economic irregular migrants, and therefore we will take the appropriate action to have them processed and returned to their country.
Investigations underway into a shooting that's left a woman wounded. Reports are that the incident unfolded shortly before 9 Friday morning on Jail Alley off East Street. The woman was taken to hospital in a private vehicle where her condition was still unknown up to airtime. We spoke to a 30-year resident of the area who gave us an off-camera interview. He says he's extremely disturbed by the violent incident as Jail Alley is a quiet neighborhood with mostly elderly residents.
And her boyfriend had come up the street, walking up the street, asking people, he's highly emotional, asking people to try help get her to the hospital. And a small car containing 2 security officers who were cruised into a corner took her to the hospital.
Mobile division officers arrested 3 suspects ages 24, 34, and 35 years old during the 24-hour period starting at 5 a.m. Wednesday for outstanding warrants of arrest. They also stopped and searched 108 vehicles and issued 27 citations for various traffic infractions and visited 99 business establishments to provide holiday safety tips to the owners and their staff. Reports surfacing that an estimated 200 Defense Force officers are set to resign. No further details have emerged. When questioned, National Security Minister, the Honorable Wayne Munro, told reporters he's not aware of these claims, but he did say this.
Any member of the RBDF can seek my permission to resign. If they do not get my permission to resign and do not show up to work, they'd be considered absent without leave and will probably be imprisoned for that offense against discipline.
This is Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean with a Tropical One update brought to you by BTC and CBS Bahamas. The tropics remains very quiet this evening, and so far this year we have had some 14 named storms, 18 hurricanes, and 2 major hurricanes, making it pretty much an average season elsewhere in the tropics. Tropical storm development is not anticipated over the next 5 days. This has been your Tropical Weather Update brought to you by BTC and CBS Bahamas.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
We are a leading Bahamian bank, one of the largest publicly traded companies on BISIX. Our measure of strength is our growth and performance, with over $1.7 billion in assets. We remain committed to serving the interests of our shareholders, staff, clients, and communities. The confidence to lead, the performance to remain. We are Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
We just got the new fiber internet speed bump. Now my internet's so fast, I can watch 2 4K movies, play video games, and browse on my computer at the same time.
Yeah, my internet's so fast, I could download a whole season of shows before my noodles run cooking.
Mine's so fast, when I go to church online, service actually over early.
Mine's so fast, when I'm working from home, 5 o'clock, come before 3.
Sound like you got this BTC fiber internet speed bump like me.
And it's so fast, I had to have it.
Current fiber internet bundle customers now have as much as 3 times the speed, totally free. Link up with BTC.
We need to save.
Be happy! Save at KFC with the one-piece chicken box fill-up for only $5.95. Enjoy genuine savings and the genuine flavor of KFC chicken fried to golden perfection with crispy fries, a buttery biscuit, and an ice-cold Pepsi. Only at KFC Nassau.
You can find it all at Builders Mall. From cement, lumber, block, plumbing, and electrical to paint, lights, vanities, and tiles. Not to mention all the tools you could possibly need to get the job done. Say if you're starting a major project, adding the finishing touches, or just doing some repair or rental work around the house. FYP, the Paint Center, and Tile King can help. Stop by or call 601-8453. Located 69 Wolf Road, Nassau. You can find it all at Builders Mall. Building, painting, and tiling, the Bahamas.
To think of the bank as my personal ATM machine. If I wanted a new car, new furniture, a weekend trip to Miami, no problem. Just max out the credit card or top up my loan. I was a big baller until I realized that 75% of my salary was going to pay back all those loans. Fidelity's personal financial coaching was the best solution. Fidelity gave me a plan with a debt consolidation loan that has a built-in savings that pays 5% interest. I now only have one low monthly payment plus money in my pocket. Give Fidelity Bank a call at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit any of Fidelity's locations or visit a website at fidelitygroup.com.
Celebrations marking the 60th anniversary of the women's suffrage movement continue tomorrow night with a gala banquet at the Bahama Resort. One of the event's special guests paying a courtesy call on Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis this afternoon. Altovise Munnings tells us more.
She's known for her large and colorful hats, and the Democratic U.S. Congresswoman for the 24th District of Florida is also known for her deep Bahamian roots.
Welcome to the Bahamas, and I dare say welcome home.
Congresswoman Frederica S. Wilson was excited to liaise with her Bahamian female political counterparts during a courtesy call to Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis at the Office of the Prime Minister on Friday. Prime Minister Davis welcomed the U.S. legislator to the Capitol in the midst of the 60th anniversary of the women's suffragette movement.
Your presence here will also add to the model for our younger ladies to see what could be achieved. That we ought not to be limited by our circumstances, and we ought not to let our circumstances limit us.
Wilson represents the South Florida communities of Opa-locka, North Miami, Hollywood, and Miramar in the U.S. Congress, and is in town to attend the Progressive Liberal Party's gala banquet honoring Ruby Ann Darling, the first Bahamian woman to register to vote in 1962.
I will present a copy to Miss Ruby Ann Darling, a copy of the congressional record showing that her incredible contributions and achievements have been recorded in the U.S. congressional record.
Congresswoman Wilson's also honoring her Bahamian heritage. She's already secured millions of dollars to construct a Bahamian Museum of Arts and Culture in South Florida.
It's going to be named after my grandmother, and her name is Frederica Roberts. Hopefully, it will be flourishing with tourism in the heart of the newly designated Little Bahamas neighborhood. We had to fight to get it designated. There would be no Miami without Bahamians.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Altaviz Munnings.
Well, meantime, the Bahamas promoted as a hub for wealth management and arbitration at the Society for Trust and Estate Practitioners Asia Conference in Singapore last week. As a sponsor, the Asian financial services market generated interest in financial services in the Bahamas. Minister of Economic Affairs, Senator the Honorable Michael Akitas, used the opportunity to inform delegates about the country's strengths as a safe harbor for financial services and how the measured approach to innovation has allowed the Bahamas to maintain its status as a world leader in that sector. And to maximize their presence in Singapore, the Ministry of Economic Affairs' delegation also met with the Singapore International Arbitration Center and International Chamber of Commerce Arbitration and ADR representatives as the government makes progress on its long-term goal of becoming an international arbitration center. Well, while in Singapore, Minister Al-Qidas also paid a courtesy call on officials of the cryptocurrency exchange OKX. OKX, the world's second largest cryptocurrency exchange, recently registered to launch a digital assets enterprise within the Bahamas. The goal is to use the Bahamas as a regional hub to meet the needs of a growing population of cryptocurrency users and investors within the Caribbean and Latin America. Given recent events that have impacted global cryptocurrency markets, Minister Al-Qidas stated that investors like OKX continue to show an interest in establishing a foothold in the Bahamas and have demonstrated their commitment to the growth of the local digital economy. OKX is a lead sponsor of the inaugural Bahamas FinTech Festival. D3 Bahamas is set for the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort on January 23rd through the 26th, 2023. In other news this evening, the Ministry of Education's analyzing school attendance following the resumption of face-to-face learning. Here's what Education Minister Glenys Hannah Martin had to say on the issue during Thursday's briefing at the Office of the Prime Minister.
Some places, like in parts of Grand Bahama and even in Abaco, we've been told there's been emigration out. And so they have to be clear on whether it's non-attendance or just not being on that island anymore. And they were in the post-pandemic reality, Dorian, there have been shifts and changes. But we're able to identify who is registered and who's not attending. There are those also who are not registered.
Well, the South Beach Health Center is now closed until further notice. The Ministry of Health and Wellness apologizing for the inconvenience, but in the interim, they encourage patients to visit the Elizabeth Estates, Flamingo Gardens, Fleming Street, Adelaide, or Gambier Clinic. December 1st, marking World AIDS Day, a moment officials hope draws added attention to the plight of the millions impacted by HIV/AIDS. It's a fight the Bahamas back strongly in the face of a new fast-tracked goal of ending the disease by 2030. Jimenita Swain tells us how local officials hope to achieve this.
From the onset of the HIV/AIDS pandemic in the 1980s, the Bahamas has been at the forefront, monitoring its changes as we near the day carved out to bring awareness to the disease. Director of the National HIV/AIDS Program, Dr. Nakia Forbes, shares where we're at as a country.
We're seeing that new infections have declined by about 53% in the last 10 years, and AIDS deaths are also going down by about 39%.
One thing that has changed is a push to end the disease within the next 8 years.
We have targets, and so we really want to diagnose as many people as possible. We want to get persons to know their status. Once they get tested and know their status, to get on effective, free, available, high-quality medicines that have always been free in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and to get to the gold standard of care where we can't detect any copies of the virus in the bloodstream.
So, by 2030, the goal, as Dr. Forbes explains, is to have 95% of the population living with HIV know their status.
We want 95% of them to be on treatment and 95% to be virally suppressed. Now, these fast-track targets, we have been aiming in solidarity with the rest of the world to get to these targets from 2015. We have made some progress. At this time, currently, 94% of people living with HIV and AIDS in the Bahamas know their status. Of that, 73% of them are on medication. We've seen a doubling of the number of people on medication in the last 10 years. And of those people on medication, 81% have achieved this gold standard of having an undetectable viral load.
And while the work is far from complete, Dr. Forbes remains optimistic.
Because it means that we can continue to see a decline of new HIV infections and really break the back of HIV transmission so we can really see an AIDS-free generation. We're trying to get there. We have less AIDS deaths. We've had no babies born with HIV from the year 2019.
For now, she says the fight also continues to end the stigma and discrimination associated with HIV/AIDS to enable persons affected to seek and sustain care. A number of activities are planned to mark this year's World AIDS Day under the theme Equalize. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Jimenita Swain.
Well, now time for the results of this week's poll question. But before doing that, here's a reminder of what was asked. Do you believe the Bahamas scrutinizes foreign investors well enough? Yes or no? On the ZNS network, 16% of you said yes. That left a whopping 84% of you voting no. Tweets pulled in 8.7% yes and 91.3% no's. And that no vote increased on Facebook to 97.3%. As always, thanks for participating. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Stay with us.
I'm looking at my dress. You ready for this big party?
Party? Girl, you're gonna have to change your birthday because I can't make that. After my party, I get a cough, I start having a fever, and then I even had a sore throat. I thought it was the flu. Come to find out it was COVID. Girl, I think you better get tested.
What do you do now? I can't be bothered with COVID, you know.
Girl, you know it ain't never too late to change your plans. Girl, you know they got new testing sites, right? You better go to one of them.
Where are these new sites located anyway?
University of the Bahamas and Golden Gates Plaza. They're open on weekdays from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on weekends from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They even have sites in Abaco, Eleuthera, and Exuma, and they're opened on the weekends. Girl, the best part is, it's free.
Thanks for letting me know. I hope you feel better soon.
Message is brought to you by PAHO WHO and the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Tourism today, Bahamas tourism today.
My name is Leonard Cartwright. I'm the tour guide for cave tours here. The cave name is Hamilton's Cave. We named it after the settlement. The Lucayan Indians discovered it, they say about 580. When the Loyalists came here in the 1770s, they used the caves for hurricane shelter and the collection of bat manure for to fertilize their farms. So we have a freshwater spring here, so they could have got drinking water here also. I grew up around here, and it was on our family, in our family from 1847. As kids, we played hide and seek in here. You could see stalactites and stalagmites, and you'll see different species of bats. The whole system that we have mapped out is over 3,000 feet, but the tour only goes as far as we can walk safely. Except we have a water cave. We haven't dove the water cave. That it goes out to the ocean. It ebbs and flows with the ocean. They say it's unbelievable. Yeah, it's really spectacular.
NBA League Pass is the coolest way to watch the hottest game there is. When threes rain down and superstars heat up. When clutch jumpers splash and your team is fire. You'll be there for up to 40 games a week. Any way you want to watch. NBA League Pass. Order now.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the 4th Annual Caribbean Baseball Cup at the new Andre Rogers National Baseball Stadium here in Nassau, Bahamas. On the visitor side is Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands, Haiti, Curacao, and Cuba. Prepare yourself for exciting adult baseball competition. Home Team Bahamas is ready to take on the world. December 4th through the 11th. Bring it on. Team Bahamas is ready for the world in baseball action. Not on our turf.
Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian. Oh, it's my day to do anything I want to. It's my time, and I'll use it any way I want to. It's my life, and I'm responsible for every action. It's all mine, my day, my time, my life. Chimney, give thanks for life. Give thanks for life. Chimney, give thanks for life. Give thanks I'm alive. Sing it. Oh yeah. Give thanks for life. Give thanks for life. Chimney. Give thanks for life. Give thanks I'm alive. Sing it. Oh yeah. Give thanks for life. Give thanks for life. Chimney. Give thanks for life. Give thanks I'm alive. Sing it.
unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Shoppers were out in full force this Black Friday, snapping up items like household goods and electronics, all on the back of huge discounts and special packages being offered by retailers to reel-in customers. Fern Carey reports.
Shoppers were in stores early Friday, hoping to avoid the crowds and cash in on attractive Black Friday deals. At CBS Bahamas in the Southwest Mall, Marketing Director Sean Gomez said the store opened at 5 a.m., but customers started lining up an hour earlier. And once the doors swung open, she said that customers rushed in and began snapping up household items and other small home appliances.
As soon as we opened the door, I mean, they just rushed in. So sales has been like phenomenal, I would say, especially for a Black Friday event. Yeah, we're very happy, very proud. The things that we see people buying a lot of is small home appliances. Air fryers are really big. We saw the grills. We also have tabletop grills, so those have been moving. We have electric grills. We have electric burners, the 2 burner stoves. Those have also been moving well. Tea kettles, irons, completely gone. We had ceiling fans as well. Ran out the store.
According to Gomez, prices had been slashed significantly to accommodate the budget of all customers, while product manager at BTC, Sheena Bolek, highlighted special deals and packages to entice customers.
Up to 75% off on selected items. So it varies based on the item, but in all up to 75%. So you can move from anywhere between 25%, 50%, 75%, depending on the item.
This year for prepaid, we have a port-in offer. We've never done this before. If you port into BTC today, any other day for the rest of this year and next year, you're going to get free data, you're going to get unlimited calls, but it lasts for a whole year. So this is something that's never been seen before with BTC. So port in, you get a TCL device for as low as $65. So that's a great port-in offer for customers that are thinking about coming back to BTC or interested in taking advantage of the sales that we have. We also have devices. All of our prepaid devices have been slashed today.
These customers were all pleased with the wide array of options they had.
I came in here to get some staples for my staple gun, and walking through, I saw this fabulous patio set that I need. I really, because I was about I went from away, and it's right here at half price, so I can't leave it.
I have a project. I'm buying nothing costing more than $10. And why? I have a project at my church where we are spending only $10 for a gift, and so I'm finding some extra nice gift.
The deals are really good. Really, really good. Like the cooler was $100, and they went for $64. And so, but the NutriBullet is a good price also. I don't remember how much it costs, but I know I'm a penny pincher, but I think I'm going to go with the NutriBullet.
Most stores will be open late this Black Friday to accommodate customers. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
Well, the American spending Thanksgiving holiday here in the capital got a treat yesterday. Tourism officials celebrated the occasion with an event in Pompey Square. Leading the welcoming party of senior tourism reps was Tourism Minister himself, the Honorable Chester Cooper. Meantime, Family Guardian Insurance Company and Great Commission Ministries putting smiles on the faces of thousands this Thanksgiving. Over 300 food packages and items distributed to residents in need. District Manager for Family Guardian Marathon, Garnell Smith, says the give back's part of the organization's effort to provide help and hope.
It's given. And, we always want to be thankful. We always want to definitely show the community that Family Guardian is a strong, sound organization. And we are here not just for profit, but, we want to give back to the communities. We want to be noticeable in the communities. We want to show persons that we care. Okay, and we always want to assist and support when they be sorry, because there are organizations and places out there that always need assistance, and we want to definitely continue to be one of the companies in the forefront.
Guardian also donating $5,000 to Great Commission Ministries, and as you can imagine, its operations manager Maxine Bethel couldn't be happier.
We serve 500 plus persons per day, which includes 50 second shut-in, and that's 5 days a week. So what Family Guarding is doing is helping our clients today with the bags, along with the hot meal that they will receive.
Well, some of the country's top volunteers and community organizations awarded high honors during a ceremony at Super Club's Breezes Resort. Desmond Saunders was there.
It feels wonderful, knowing that the Salvation Army has been here since over 90 years now, and receive this recognition for the office of the Governor General. It's really uplifting.
A year and a half ago, I was literally lying on my dying bed, and to come back from the dead by the grace of God, by the mercies of God, and to be able to receive this award from the Governor General and to continue to serve my precious Bahamian people, there's nothing greater that any human being could experience.
Whether volunteering their time through community service, providing aid in natural disasters, or feeding the poor, these 24 volunteers and 10 social outreach organizations throughout the country are considered the lifeblood of the country's social fabric. The Governor General Volunteers Committee saluting their hard work, dedication, and sacrifice that sometimes go unnoticed. 9-year-old Woodcock Primary School student honoree Delilah Culmer recognized for her work in establishing a library at the oncology section of the Princess Margaret Hospital.
So while they're reading, they can take their mind off the treatment and the TV. They can maybe watch something while they're getting their treatment too.
Humbled by the recognition, Culmer has his message for her friends.
Thank you for making my dream come true.
The presentation of awards, the brainchild of the Governor General Volunteers Committee, formed in 2019 to promote a culture of volunteerism and community service in the country. The celebrations also coincides with Volunteer Month. Governor General, His Excellency, the Most Honorable Sir Cornelius Smith, applauding the honorees.
It was through your shining examples of caring, selfless giving, you have become the guardians of the tender conscience of our nation. It is you who raise high the banner of Christian love for all across our nation to see.
The Rotary Clubs of the Bahamas, Great Commission Ministries, the Bahamas Red Cross Society, the Salvation Army, the Kiwanis Club, and the Bahamas Boys Brigades among the organizations receiving top honors. Minister of Social Services, Honorable Obie Wilscombe, agrees that their commitment and service is unmatched.
As Martin Luther King reminded us, you don't have to have a college degree to give service. Said service comes from the heart and from the soul. It's your heart and soul that we've seen, your determination to make a difference, your determination to help others, to give hope, to give help, to feed, to give to the needy.
Officials of the Governor General Volunteers Bahamas organization hope their work could in some way spark a revolution and inspire a culture of volunteerism in the Bahamas that will heal and transform our land. Desmond Saunders of Bahamas Tonight.
Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Get a merry makeover this Christmas from Scotiabank. Apply for a Scotiaplan loan to win a home renovation. This Christmas, unwrap the celebration. $3,000 for your home, new lamp, new decor, new couch that you
win
own.
Win a $3,000 home goods gift card when you apply for a Scotiaplan loan this Christmas. We're giving you the gift of a low interest rate and up to 2 months with no payments. Plan the perfect Christmas with your Scotiaplan loan. Use it for any purpose, plus benefit from flexible payment terms. Apply for a Scotiaplan loan now to enter to win a merry home makeover.
The #1 high school basketball showcase in America is back for another year. Last year, we brought you guys the Thanksgiving Hoop Fest in Dallas, Texas, the Red River Hoop Fest in Texarkana, and the Holiday Hoop Fest in Salt Lake City, Utah. Our series has brought through some elite-level talent by the likes of Trae Young, NBA All-Star, Marcus Smart, De'Aaron Fox, and the list goes on and on. This year, we're super excited to let you guys know we're adding a new stop to the Hoop Fest basketball series. I hope you guys are ready, because we're bringing some of the top high school basketball players in America right here to the Nassau, Bahamas for the Hoop Fest in Paradise. 4 of the top high school teams in the U.S. will be right here competing against each other. When? December 16th and 17th. You can expect some sharp shooting, high flying, and straight up gritty basketball at this year's Hoop Fest in Paradise. December 16th and 17th, 4 of the top high school teams in America will be right here in Nassau, Bahamas. Will you be here?
We just got the new fiber internet speed bump. Now my internet so fast I can watch 2 4K movies, play video games, and browse on my computer at the same time. Yeah, my internet so fast I could download a whole season of shows before my noodles run cooking. Mine so fast when I go to church online, service actually over early. Mine so fast when I'm working from home, 5 o'clock, come before 3. Sound like you got this BTC fiber internet speed bump like me. But it's so fast I had to have it.
Current fiber internet bundle customers now have as much as 3 times the speed. Totally free. Link up with BTC.
Not the way any family wants to end a vacation, but the Grand Isle Resort and Residences in Exuma is this evening confirming the death of one of its guests early this morning. An 87-year-old Virginia woman's lifeless body was reportedly found in the shower of one of the property's condos. The woman's death now the focus of a police investigation. Authorities making it clear that until it's been determined what led to the visitor's death, they cannot comment further, except to say they are saddened by the tragedy and that their thoughts and prayers go out to the family. Meantime, alleged drug possession lands an Exuma man in the hands of police. Preliminary reports are that the officers were patrolling Harts, Exuma just before 6 Wednesday evening when they witnessed the 38-year-old suspect throwing an object in a trash bin. A search of that bin led to the discovery of a quarter pound of drugs with a street value of $250. The man was arrested. The matter's under active investigations. A road paving enterprise and a hotel resort team up to express gratitude to Exumians yesterday. For a report on how they did it, here's our Anthony Smith.
For the folks over at Bahamas Striping Group of Companies and Sandals Emerald Bay, Thanksgiving means tradition.
It's just very special for us.
It's why Sandals staff found themselves working into the wee hours of the night, preparing for this very day.
It doesn't cost anything to give service.
The day volunteers, some from one end of the island, some from the other, would drive up and drive away. In tow, some 300 hot meals, set for delivery to the young and elderly in Exuma as a way to just say thanks.
What better way to do it than to make sure that on Thanksgiving or on Christmas, we make sure that people have a hot meal and a nice cold drink.
We have a responsibility, and just especially at this time of year, which is, all about family, all about giving, to be able to do this for those who are perhaps less fortunate, unable to cook for themselves. They may be bedridden, housebound, or just, in a financial situation where they can't necessarily have this. It feels good.
It's a joint initiative between the island's largest employer and the infrastructure team, some 3 years running.
We made the commitment previously, and so we wanted to maintain that, and it is a sacrifice, but it's important for us, we're being blessed, and it's important for us to continue giving.
And continue to give, they will, as the give back for both groups has evolved beyond just corporate responsibility, becoming somewhat of a signature staple, one that's not only welcomed by the island's residents, but much awaited too.
To go out from the corporate community, come and feed the
People, this is a big day. People may not know, but so many people, they are waiting for this food right now. They are waiting.
Altogether, Bahamas Striping Group officials donated more than 2,000 meals to persons in both New Providence and Exuma. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Antoinette Smith.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather, and for that, return to Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makisha. We have just a few clouds, temperature at 88 degrees, the relative humidity 66%, the winds out of the north-northwest at 8 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,016.3 millibars, that's 30.00 inches, and the pressure is falling. Temperatures around the Family Violence this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 77 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Turtle, Key, and Marshall, Abaco. The Berry Islands, a little warmer at 85. 81 degrees in Alistown, Bimini. 85 degrees in Harbor Island and Rock, Sandy, Lutra. Black Point, Exuma, Kemp Space, South Andros, also reported 85 degrees, 86 in Fresh Creek, Central Andros. In Otterstown, Cat Island, 85 degrees, also Rum Key at 85 degrees. Georgetown, Exuma, 86, more 85s in Clarence, Long Island, Ragged Island, Crooked Island, and Acklands. Over in Betsy Bay, Meguana, they have 85 as well. Matchy, Tanyanagua, 86, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 84 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. For all areas, you can anticipate the winds to be out of the southeast to south at 10 to 15 knots. The wave height is 2 to 4 feet. High tide will take place tonight at 8:42, and then tomorrow for all areas, the winds become northeast at 10 to 15 knots. Wave height is unchanged at 2 to 4 feet. The high tide will take place at 9:14 in the morning with the low tide at 3:47 in the afternoon. Now, on Sunday, for all areas, the winds once again become southeast to south behind a weak frontal system. Speeds at 10 to 15 knots. The wave height is 2 to 4 feet. High tide on Sunday will take place at 10:08 in the morning with the low tide at 4:43 in the afternoon. It's time now for your travel international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Walk out for them, walk out for them. All my ladies, walk out for them. First of all, you don't need no validation. You don't need no affirmation from nobody. No, sir. No, on your body. Confidence and sex appeal. Every now I get your feel. The way I bounce on the stick it, I don't work the bumper right there. Eyes above, be me. And tonight this woman gon' wind up, yeah.
That's going to do it for your international temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. The extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant here to educate you on the do's and don'ts at the service station. Here's what you don't do. Do not pull up from the pump without first checking that the nozzle has been removed from your car. Because if you pop this, that's about $600,000 to $30,000 to replace. These things ain't cheap. What you want to do is make sure that the nozzle has been removed, or just wait for the universal sign, which is the double tap.
A Marine Protected Area, or MPA, is a legally defined area of the sea where certain types of activities are restricted for the conservation of the environment or protection of a cultural, historical site.
Since the late 1990s, successive governments, along with key stakeholders, have been working to create a network of marine protected areas across the Bahamas.
At that time, less than 2% of our nursery and breeding grounds for fish, conch, lobsters, and other species were in protected areas. Science said we needed to protect at least 20% of our marine ecosystems to replenish wildlife in our waters.
Research shows that well-managed MPAs provide real benefits to nature and communities.
MPAs not only replenish fisheries, they provide opportunities for tourism, education, research, and reduce the impact of climate change on coastal communities.
These benefits are not overnight, so everyone has to be patient for these MPAs to work.
Visit Bahamas Protected on Facebook to learn more. See the future.
Are you a contractor or new homeowner?
Maybe you need a few pieces of lumber for your DIY projects. Welcome to Capital Lumber, the newest building materials company in the Bahamas. Located on Parkgate Road, Nassau, helping you to maximize your savings on lumber, cement, shingles, tools, and much more. Your one-stop shop for all your building essentials. With free delivery to the mail booth, visit us today. Capital Lumber, build strong.
Being the CFO at this young age, it really is very fulfilling to me, and it really shows that the hard work, the hours that I put in my career, they really paid off. Having such young persons in such a key role really shows that the board of directors have a lot of trust in the leadership of the young people. Being committed to excellence means that you put all of your effort into whatever it is you're doing to get the best benefit out of that task or anything you're doing in life.
Get a merry makeover this Christmas from Scotiabank. Apply for a Scotia Plan loan to win a home renovation. This Christmas, unwrap the celebration. $3,000 for your home, new lamp, new decor, new couch that you
Win
own.
a $3,000 home goods gift card when you apply for a Scotia Plan loan this Christmas. We're giving you the gift of a low interest rate and up to 2 months with no payments. Plan the perfect Christmas with your Scotia Plan loan. Use it for any purpose, plus benefit from flexible payment terms. Apply for a Scotia Plan loan now to enter to win a merry home makeover.
The Sports Report is brought to you by Hoop Fest in Paradise, December 16th to the 17th at the Kendall G. Isaacs Gym. The best in U.S. and Bahamian high school basketball. Welcome to your TGIF Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports news. Day 2 of the battle for Atlanta's men's basketball tournament, closing out with a hotly contested game. Jaden Taylor scored 20 points and Eric Hunter Jr. added 19 as Butler would defeat BYU 75-70 in Thursday's consolation bracket. Butler led for over 34 minutes but never had a double-digit advantage. BYU would drop to 3-3. They were led by Fassini Traore, who scored 21 points and added 12 rebounds.
Well, I thought Jaden, hit some timely shots for us, and I thought he finished well in transition. We all did a pretty decent job of that tonight. He didn't force a lot of things. He sort of let it come to him, and that's something we've been working with him on. Hey, we're a team where I don't know who it's going to be each night, but happy when it happens.
I mean, it's obviously we said yesterday after that loss that we wanted to leave here 2-1, if anything. But I mean, we came here on a business trip, so I mean, we're trying to enjoy our time, but I know we're here to hoop. So.
The Cougars on what they hope to build on from the loss.
Well, they're going to do something. You're going to learn about your team right now, and we're learning a lot about ourselves. We learned a lot about ourselves last night. You guys, I thought the guys made some significant improvements from yesterday and some of the ways we approached the game, and we still came up empty tonight. So that's really, really discouraging. But we'll continue to get better. That's a mantra of our team, and these games give you an opportunity to do it.
It was super, the second half, we really take care of the ball, first half, when we went to the locker room, we have 9 turnovers, we just need to carry down, And I feel like second half, everybody really take care of the ball.
For Bahamian head coach Yolette Matthew McCoon and her Ole Miss Lady Rebels, their trip to the Bahamas may be done. But for Coach Yo, she says she hopes to use the competition in the recently held Bahamas Hoops tournament as a litmus test for her team ahead of the start of conference play in the SEC.
It was incredible. They have so much experience. They returned everybody, and then they added a few pieces. They kind of remind me how we was last year. We were very experienced, plugged in a few pieces to take us to the next level. My team has 9 new players. I think people forget that. And so for us to be able in November to lose a game at the end by a call that we couldn't control, I'll take it. And we'll continue to grow from it. So, like I said, a lot of things I saw that we're going to grow from moving forward. I feel good about it.
It was Championship Thursday in the GSSA Softball League as new champions were crowned on the senior girls and junior girls side. First in the junior division, this one was a rout from start to finish and never in doubt. Finishing with the perfect season would be the HO Nash Lions with a 23-zip rout over LW Young.
Yes, I'm so proud of my girls. They were fully prepared. Like I told them earlier, we practiced for about a year and a half. So I was expecting us to come up victorious. We went undefeated. We had an amazing pitcher, amazing catcher. Infield and outfield, we just had a good all-around team, a solid team, and I expected us to come up victorious.
I feel undefeated. I feel like I'm the best out here. And nobody's seeing us.
Tell me a bit about the season and all culminating with the championship and being able to celebrate with your teammates.
The season was very good, even though we didn't have any competition out here. But it feels good to be victorious, and it feels good to be undefeated.
Also dominating in their final game to cap a stellar season would be the team from out east. The Doris Johnson Mystic Marlins taking the Sierra Walker Knights to task, closing out the series with an 11-2 victory.
It was a rocky path at the start, but we came out in the end and we crushed everyone. We ended the season undefeated, as our girls should.
Tell me a bit about the focus it takes to stay on track, to stay undefeated, Rosie.
For us to stay undefeated, we have practice every day, even on Saturdays, even on Sundays, early in the morning, late at night. We just had to work hard for what we wanted. We wanted this, and that's what we did. We got it.
How does it feel?
It feels really good, and the girls clearly feel good over there right now.
I feel very good. I had a lot of confidence in the girls. They played well, and I always have confidence in the girls.
Guys, you used the winning pitcher tonight, only allowed 2 runs. Just tell me a bit about just your pitching performance.
My pitching performance was good. I just helped them out on the field, but mainly I just took my time, and I really just had confidence on the end of the field.
And that's been your sports on this Friday. A check on weather when we return. The Sports Report was brought to you by Hoop Fest in Paradise, December 16th to the 17th at the Kendall Geologics Gymnasium, the best in U.S. and Bahamian high school basketball.
Come for the specials and stay for the savings at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Devon corned beef, 12 ounce, $2.79. Hunt's tomato paste, 12 ounce, $1.95. Whole chickens, $1.99 per pound. Panama raw shrimp, $41.50, 12 ounce, $5.99. Baking potatoes, 5 pounds, $3.99. Donate your change to help feed the Humane Society animals at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
The #1 high school basketball showcase in America is back for another year. Last year, we brought you guys the Thanksgiving Hoop Fest in Dallas, Texas, the Red River Hoop Fest in Texarkana, and the Holiday Hoop Fest in Salt Lake City, Utah. Our series has brought through some elite-level talent by the likes of Trae Young, NBA All-Star, Marcus Smart, De'Aaron Fox, and the list goes on and on. This year, we're super excited to let you guys know we're adding a new stop to the Hoop Fest basketball series. I hope you guys are ready, because we're bringing some of the top high school basketball players in America right here to the Nassau, Bahamas for the Hoop Fest in Paradise. 4 of the top high school teams in the U.S. will be right here competing against each other. When? December 16th and 17th. You can expect some sharp shooting, high flying, and straight up gritty basketball at this year's Hoop Fest in Paradise. December 16th and 17th, 4 of the top high school teams in America will be right here in Nassau, Bahamas. Will you be here?
Time now for weather.
Taking a look at our final look at weather, high pressure system remains control of our weather, and that will maintain pleasant weather over the next several days. As far as our weather is concerned tonight, we are looking at clear and humid conditions, low temperature just around 74 degrees. And tomorrow it's going to be somewhat on the mixed side with a little bit of sun, a little bit of cloud here and there. And your high temperature should get up to about 84 degrees. And your extended weather forecast for the next 7 days, we're going to keep those pleasant weather in place. Save for Sunday, you can get some showers and thunderstorms are popping up as a result of a very weak frontal system that will move through the area rather quickly, maintaining temperatures in the mid-80s during the daytime and mid to upper 70s during the nighttime. Okay,
well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
You're watching the